Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my new video, the top 5 things that every single Karma player needs to know. Now, my name is Lolfit. First of all, I do educational content like these type of tip videos, and then guides, and then opposition reports, and a couple different types of videos, so make sure to check those out as well, all educational content. So, let's talk about my girl Karma. I love her playstyle. She is in kind of a weaker spot after the shield nerfs, but she did recently get a buff to her Q splash zone. So I wanted to make this video if you're considering trying to pick her up again and see if the buffs did anything. So yeah, let's go over the first thing that really bothers me whenever I see someone playing Karma and they're doing it incorrectly. A lot of the times people are focusing on their two big impact spells. They're either shielding and then queuing, and W is a bit of an afterthought. But the root on the W is so strong right now that you want to ensure it. You need to make sure to either have the slow of the Q first into the W, or to throw the W into the Q. Do not look to maybe you're doing a Q and then, oh, I need to shield someone, and then going for the W, because you're not going to have your slow from your Q or your speed up from your E. So make sure that you are ensuring your W root with some sort of movement speed buff or reduction on the enemy. This can also be ensured by something like Shirelias to make sure that they are getting rooted, because in this meta there's a lot of assassins and divers and tanks that the W is really important. So make sure that you have some ability to ensure it. It could even be a flash if it's on an extremely important team fight on a very important member. So keep that in mind, and that will wrap up number 1. Alright, let's just jump right into number 2. Now this is a very important tip that you really need to abide by. Karma is an extremely flexible champion with what she's able to provide in team fights. So you really need to look on what items are going to best serve you in the team fights. There are so many different ways to go. You can go something like Zeke's if you have a very fed ADC that you want to increase the damage of, because the ADC is relatively safe and he doesn't need something like an Ardence or a Locket. You can do a little bit more of an offensive build with that. Also, you can go things like Shirelias if you have a team fight comp that just wants to run at people with a bunch of tanks, like Malphite and Sejuani, Maokai, just things like Olaf that just want to run at champions and you are ahead. This is a great win more item because it's going to enable picks more, and then it also helps with disengage when you want to run away with the movement speed as well. If you're doing really well and you're a mid laner and you're carrying, you can also go offensive poke builds with Ludens that can really give you a huge amount of damage in the game. It's not going to be as strong as other mid laners, obviously, because Karma doesn't scale as well, but it will give you a decent amount of damage in fights. Now, if you have a ADC that's getting bursted out a lot, you can go something like Athene's that will give you a decent amount of ability power, and then also give you a bit of healing on your ally when you want to shield them. So there are so many different items you can go that it really just depends on what type of support you want to be. If there's a lot of AoE damage, you can go Redemption and Locket. If you have a bunch of ACs and attack speed reliant champions out of the jungle and top it, and out of the ADC lane, Ardent Sensor is great. And then also if you want to engage more with, if you have a pick comp heavy team with like Elise and Ashe, Twin Shadows can be a great pickup. And there's just a whole plethora of things you can do on Karma because she is so flexible. So keep this in mind. You should never be building the same build twice in different game states. So I'm going to wrap up number 2. If you have any questions for me that revolve around item builds, I love talking about Karma. I'm really kind of upset that she's not in the best place right now. So please let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions about her builds. Alright, let's just jump right into tip number 3. I want to talk about Karma's Q and a couple of different ways you can just use it a bit more effectively. Let's get at the correct range. It's about right here. Maybe a little bit farther back. See how it looks like it's going to hit it there? So the Q is not really going all the way to the tip of the arrow. So make sure that you are using it accordingly. And if you want to increase the range of your Q, if you did not know, the alt will increase the range and allow you to hit it at ranges that the regular Q will not. So keep that in mind when you are looking for poke. Next up, the second thing I wanted to talk about real quickly is just using the minions to CS. It will give you a radius of damage around it where it otherwise you might not be able to reach it. Again, if you're at this range, that's a little bit too close. So if you're like right here and you're missing it, look to get in the radius by hitting a minion that is around it. Say you can go like that, and then it will hit the target. So you make sure you're using minions kind of as a splash radius for you to enhance your Q, because as opposed to just getting it right on the tip of the arrow, if you hit a minion that's near it, it will increase the radius of the splash. So use those two tips when you are looking to land your Q poke. Alright, and let's get into the alt usage. Now this is what is really going to trip up a lot of low elo Karma players, because they're not going to know the specific alt to use in team fights. This should go accordingly. In team fights, you should be using your E and alt E when you have a lot of AoE damage and it's about to come at you. The shield, however, only lasts a certain amount of time, so be careful when you use it. Don't only use it for the speed up, it isn't worth the alt. Use it for the speed up and the burst prevention when divers come in on you. So if you're seeing a lot of AoE damage, E is great. If you are getting targeted a lot in team fights, they want to take out the Karma, make sure you're using your alt W, and you really want to use it when you are already taken a bit of damage, because it is based off of missing health. So say you take a quick combo, you want to alt and then W and you get a heal, and then you want to kite around while the leash is up and get that second heal from your ultimated W. So make sure to use that when you are getting focused. And the third game state, when you just want a win more and they have a very squishy backline, the alt Q can be a great ability. But however, usually the most effectful ultimate in team fights is going to be that alt E, because it can apply to so many different people and it is a rather big shield with great AP scaling. So you get an increased AP scaling on the mantra bonus from your ult. So make sure that you are using your ultimate in different way in team fights. Usually the best way in trades, just in lane when you're not in team fights, is the alt W, because you're going to heal up a lot of their bursts while doing damage to them. And then if you're just taking max poke Q trades, it's obviously best to do the ultimate Q. It's usually not worth it to ultimate E in a 1v1 because this will have more damage prevention in the W, and obviously you'll get more damage off with the mantra Q. So best in team fights E, best in laning is either Q or W based on your trading patterns. And that will wrap up number 4. Alright, and let's just jump into the last tip. Now this one I think a little bit controversial, but after playing so much Karma, I think probably more than 300-400 games of Karma, I want to talk about where she can really shine, where other supports might not be as effective, and where she can be picked in a niche situation that's going to be very good. And I think that is in really catch comp based teams, and as well as split pushes where you're able to pick people off in the side lanes. Now, why I think she's so great right now currently in the split push type of team comp is because every single one of your abilities is a catch ability. Your Q gives a slow so you can chase people down better, your W gives a root so you can chase people down better, and your E gives a speed up so you can chase people down better. So really look to amplify her strengths and catch potential with items, whether it be a Shirelia's to chase people down, or to ensure a W maybe, can be a very effective way of using Shirelia's. And then also, say you have a split pusher, it's like a Jax versus a Tryndamere right here, you can also use something like Twin Shadows, which is starting to see a lot more relevance in pro play, and chase them down that way. So really look to use Karma in these catch potential areas. She might not be the best support team fighter as something like a Braum right now, which is like almost 100% pick ban rate in the pro play, but really look to take advantage of her strengths in her catch potential. That will wrap up my video in the top 5 things that every single Karma player needs to know. I'm open to all feedback and critique. If you have any questions, or if you want to comment one of your tips for Karma, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. And if you enjoyed the content, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I am trying to put together a community of people that are just trying to help each other climb. And make sure to check out the Discord in the description if you want to talk to, have a live chat, or just want to talk to other people in the community. It's a really fun Discord, and a bunch of really funny stuff goes on in there, so make sure to check it out. And as always, guys, take it easy.